It's still difficult to believe what CBS journalist Margaret Brennan said. She actually blamed free speech for the Holocaust. Yes, she did. In a heated exchange with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Brennan dropped one of the most historically inaccurate takes of all time. And Rubio, to his credit, he shut it down fast. The exchange we're about to break down is the quintessential example of why the legacy media is collapsing in real time and why it deserves to. You're not going to want to miss this. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back. So if you haven't already, join the RPW Media family and become a subscriber to the channel. Hit the notification bell and smack that like button because it helps us get our message out to more people. All right, now, what in the world is going on at CBS? It seems like every week a so-called journalist finds a way to embarrass themselves on national television. But this time, we've reached a whole new level of delusion. Margaret Brennan, host of Deface the Nation, was talking about JD Vance's brilliant speech in Munich, where he talked about how European countries are losing the shared values we have with them, particularly free speech. Brennan decided it was a good idea to argue that free speech somehow played a role in the Holocaust. And you're about to watch Marco Rubio give a masterclass in how to take down stupidity on a live national news broadcast. Give it a watch.
And in that Cold War, we fought against things like censorship and oppression and so forth. And when you see backsliding and you raise that, that's a very valid concern. We can't tell them how to run their countries. He simply expressed in a speech his view of it, which a lot of people frankly share. And I thought he said a lot of things in that speech that needed to be said. And honestly, I don't know why anybody would be upset about it. People are allowed, you don't have to agree with someone's speech. I happen to agree with a lot of what he said, but you don't have to agree with someone's speech to at least appreciate the fact they have a right to say it, and that you should listen to it and see whether those criticisms are valid. I assure you, the United States has come under withering criticism on many occasions from many leaders in Europe, and we don't go around throwing temper tantrums about it.
Well, he was standing in a country where free speech was weaponized to conduct a genocide. And he met with the head of a political party that has far-right
Here comes
views
the boom.
and some historic ties to extreme groups. The context of that was changing the tone of it. And you know that the censorship
I have to disagree with
was
you.
specifically about the right.
No, I have to disagree with you. Free speech was not used to conduct a genocide. The genocide was conducted by an authoritarian Nazi regime that happened to also be genocidal because they hated Jews and they hated minorities and they hated those that they had a list of people they hated, but primarily the Jews. There was no free speech in Nazi Germany. There was none. There was also no opposition in Nazi Germany. They were a sole and only party that governed that country. So that's not an accurate reflection of history. I also think it's wrong. Again, I go back to the point of his speech. Okay, the point of his speech was basically that there is an erosion in free speech and intolerance for opposing points of view within Europe. And that's of concern because that is eroding. That's not an erosion of your military capabilities. That's not an erosion of your economic standing. That's an erosion of the actual values that bind us together in this transatlantic union that everybody talks about. And I think allies and friends and partners that have worked together now for 80 years should be able to speak frankly to one another in open forums without being offended, insulted, or upset.
Slam, mic drop. Marco Rubio. Yeah, she actually said it. Free speech led to the Holocaust. You heard her. Not the Nazis, not their socialist authoritarian regime, not their propaganda machine. Nope. She went straight to blaming free speech. This is what the leftists believe, guys. Over the last 4 years, longer, but really over the last 4 years, they have convinced themselves that their ideas and ideology is the correct and true way, kind of like the Nazis. And free speech brings in counter ideas that are inherently wrong because, well, their ideas are the true way. Just ask them. They'll tell you. Let me repeat Rubio's incredible take of her attitude. He said, why would our allies or anybody be irritated by free speech and by someone giving their opinion? We are, after all, democracies. Are we? Historically, fascist and socialist authoritarians have loathed opposing ideas that make them look stupid or make them have to think of a better idea. Rubio went on saying, and so I think if anyone's angry about his words, JD Vance, they don't have to agree with him, but to be angry about it, I think actually makes his point. Boom. It does. Exactly. I mean, what kind of a democracy is afraid of free speech, guys? Now, JD Vance, he tweeted out, this is a crazy exchange. Does the media really think the Holocaust was caused by free speech? Yes, sir, they do. They do. They do not believe in free speech. That little oddity our founders guaranteed us that sits right next to its little brother called freedom of the press. White House Communications Director Stephen Chung didn't hold back either. He tweeted out, Margaret Brennan of CBS News is going through some bizarre episode as she makes disgusting excuses for Nazis and the Holocaust. Do me a favor, someone find out if she still has a job after this. Let me know in the comments. And yet, amazingly, in the part that I didn't show you, after getting completely obliterated on live TV, Brennan did what every corporate media hack does. She doubled down. Because admitting you're wrong, that's just not what these people do. At this point, the real question is, how does CBS let this kind of historical illiteracy air on national television? Either Brennan truly believes what she said, and I think she does, which is terrifying in its own right, or she was just desperately grasping for a gotcha moment against Rubio and Vance. Either way, it didn't work. Her shenanigans backfired spectacularly. Now, maybe next time she'll actually crack open a history book before trying to rewrite one on TV. All right, thanks for watching. Hit that notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with the latest political takedowns and media meltdowns. I'll see you in the next one. Spread the word.
Laughed at the mall 'cause your mama forgot. I know